Hello and welcome everyone. This is SN Ashfaq and I am here today with part 2 of how to conduct research. In the previous video of the similar series, I actually show that how you can select an area of your research and how you can select and identify the problems and the research question in your area by actually doing an appropriate literature review. So after doing that, the next stage when remember that after identifying the problems and proposing a solution, the next stage is to perform the experiment. So in today's lecture we will discuss how we can plan and perform the experiment. Before going forward, one thing I would want to make clear is that as I am myself and specialized in the field of computer science and my area of research is software engineering, so whatever I discuss or whatever examples I give, that will be specially from the area of computer science, and these can be applied on the other fields as well with slight modifications. So let's start. Okay, so first of all, when you have to perform the experiment, you need to plan the experiment. And while planning the experiment, the first thing you need to do is you need to identify the nature of the experiment. How will you identify the nature of the experiment and what kind of experiment is and how what are the requirements or what are the possible outcomes of these experiments? All these things come under the nature of the experiment. So how you will do this? You will have to read the research article and research paper exactly related to your topic or your identified problem. With that, you will actually understand and focus on their experimental area of their research paper, and then you will have to identify the possible outcomes, the possible requirements, and the nature and the type of experiment that is required. And you also need to remember that you may perform exactly the same experiment or you may perform the experiment with slight modification, but the nature of the experiment, by nature we mean the inputs, the possible outcomes, and the methodology of the experiment will remain the same. So after identifying the nature of the experiment by doing an appropriate review of the similar related research articles, you will have to do the second step. What is the second step? The second step is to analyze the resources and expertise required for the experiment. There may be different software or hardware resources required to perform a computer science research experiment. For example, you maybe need to do program or to create a program in Java or any other language, or you may be required to use a tool like MATLAB. So you need to identify what kind of resource is required, and then you need to decide whether you have the expertise of using that tool or doing programming. Remember that you cannot be an expert of everything. You may not have the expertise in the required tool or in the required programming language. So in that case, you will have to hire the expertise, or you have to pay someone to do that experiment for you, or to program that, or to use some existing tool for performing the experiment. So there's no problem in that. Okay, the next step after analyzing the required resources and expertise for our experiment, the next step is to collect the data for experiment. The data can be which you can say that can be a primary data or can be secondary data. For the difference between primary and secondary data, please consult my related video. So here I am not going into the detail of primary and secondary data, but the data collected for the experiment may be primary or may be secondary. Okay, after collecting the data, what you need to do, this is a very important step, and remember that this step will have a massive impact on the outcome of the experiment. You need to perform pre-processing on the data. Pre-processing means making the data ready for your experiment. There may be lots of problems in with your data. For example, if we consider the data for computer science experiment, in the data there can be thousands of records, there can be some missing values, there can be ambiguities in the data, or there can be some information or some part of the data which can have a negative impact on your experiment. So you need to remove all these things. I'll just give you an example that in my recent experiment which I was performing for my research, I was doing clustering. and the data, some of the data has some missing values. So I did not remove those missing values and I performed the clustering. So it gave me some negative result in the form of an extra cluster which contains those records which do not have a particular value. So what you need to do, you need to pre-process the data, remove all the ambiguities, all the missing values, and make sure that your data is ready and data is actually in the most appropriate form for performing the experiment. Inshallah, I'll explain the data pre-processing in another lecture. Hopefully, I'll tell you all the possible details and all the ways of performing the pre-processing in the data. For that, you have to consult my data mining portions of the video tutorials. So after pre-processing the data, the next step, you need to perform the experiment. You need to put your data in the tool, or you need to put your data and you need to perform the experiment. And after performing the experiment, what you have to collect the results. Now remember that these results will be according to what you plan in the start, because when you identified the nature of the experiment, you actually identified that what kind of inputs you will give to the experiment and what results or what outcome is expected. So after performing the experiment, you need to get the results. And what we will do with results, actually we have to analyze now our result for finding if our experiment has given us suitable results or not. So for that, hopefully you will get all what we'll do with the results in my next lecture. So please watch my next video for part 3 of how to conduct results. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. Please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, do write me down. I'll try my best to answer them. Thank you very much.